We're live.
Hello, Internet.
Hello, Internet.
All right.
Hi.
Yeah. We have to extra make sure not to talk over Amanda since it's so quiet.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I can put it up to 100.
Put it at 11.
Yeah. Push it to the limit.
Yeah. We got the mic as close to you as possible, so we should be good.
I just gotta make sure that I don't make any Windows sounds because it's just gonna be bling!
Yeah.
Yep.
It's gonna be, it's gonna be a thing.
It's gonna be loud. I'll leave. I'm sorry. We don't have Tony here to make...
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, leave from your house.
Yeah.
Like, where are you going?
All right. I'll just go sit in my room and be sad.
So,
Listen
the last time we convened, people were planning a raid on the university because this is where we're at now.
I'm not sure that's us, though.
Hey, they were mention of setting a fire to get people out before the shit hits the fan. That's as much planning as...
I was like, plan is a very generous word. I think people were threatening an invasion.
Yeah.
I mean,
no.
Thinking ahead enough to be like, oh, we'll set a fire first, and that'll get people evacuated, and then we can go kill people.
Yep.
Is a plan.
Yeah, what's
technical.
That's as much plan as happens
no, along
because...
this line.
Machinations?
That's close to. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Keep going. My brain.
Scheming?
Yes! Scheming. That's the word.
In many other situations with this crew, like, this idea would have popped up right as you were in the middle of it, and there were screaming students all around you.
Oh, yeah.
It would be like, oh, maybe we can set a distraction now.
I mean, all Zhenya ever wanted to do was literally just to walk in there and be like, which one of you is the professor? Let me kill you. But you guys are right. There's students there. Also Hector. Not everyone's guilty.
Yeah. Hector is...
Wait, what did I even say I was going to do? I was going to go find him, right?
You gotta look at the notes.
I'm looking at them, but... I don't know.
I was too busy making friends with my enemies.
That's right.
Okay, so I found out where the office was from Aurelia. That's...
I love these boots so much.
Not... I was trying to find my star.
She dropped the star but retrieved lettuce.
There's just lettuce in my crotch.
Are you doing fucking magic tricks? Like, what is this?
I don't know.
Transmutation.
They're gonna start, like...
Oh, well.
Gonna start pulling, like, colored scars out of your mouth?
It'll just
like,
come
what?
up when I, like... when I stand, it'll just be there. So
Yeah.
Fucking Chris Angel over here.
Whatever.
Stop putting shit on our bodies, David Blaine.
Wait, I found it.
There you go.
Was that dude that kept doing, like, the fucking David Blaine look? Like, all the time. Amazing.
Yeah, okay, so I know where the office is because I asked Aurelia. It says here... Oh, wait, you did that already. Zhenya will take care of Captain Tobias until Jimena sets the university on fire to signal her. So I guess the university on fire was also a signal, along with a distraction and a way to clear out the students. It's like a multi-purpose fire. That's very efficient.
That's this
Don't
group's MO.
clap at me. It was Tony's plan.
Oh, I was like, Swiss Army fire starter. Well done.
I was like, Jimena doesn't think that far ahead. She's just like, what you want me to set on fire?
Yeah.
I'll do it.
The insides of people's bodies? Okay.
Right.
Yeah. That's about all we got, though.
I know you have your Red Bull, but what I want is for you to have, like, an incinerating kiss. So you kiss Verdugo, and literally he spontaneously combusts from the inside out. Like,
I mean,
that's what I want.
I've got points.
Yeah, right.
And I'm working towards being the first true firebender, so...
Yeah. Like,
That's right.
At some point I'm gonna be able to create
I
my
could
own
kiss
fire.
him and make his life suck real bad.
Yeah, but no, I want her
But
to, like,
I
breathe
can't do
fire
that.
into his soul.
Well,
and
I can
incinerate
breathe fire, so...
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Like, not straight up, like, down his throat, but, like, kiss him and then he's just... Yes, I know.
Thank you, Amanda.
I'll leave, I'm sorry. What did Amanda say?
Can you repeat it, Amanda?
I said, but I won't do that.
Yep.
Yeah, we've been doing that
Oh, yeah.
all.
Yeah.
Great minds.
Yeah.
So yeah, Rethold and Magnus are also going to be part of the distraction because
They are distracting.
Yeah.
there's a lot of people on campus. There's a lot of back and forth, lots of students. It's busy. So to clear a path, you're gonna need to put a little bit of elbow grease. But with that in place, Magnus and Rethold giggling to themselves all along, just sort of break off to go start some mayhem, and the rest of you start to make your way towards the university. It is mid-afternoon at this point. As you get to the grounds, and I don't know if you want to sneak in there. I know Evine has a student persona, so how do you want to approach getting on the grounds?
I was like, I feel Jimena could get in easily enough. You just look like the people.
That's true.
I'm also dressed like a Castilian woman right now, like kind of austere.
So sounds like all the femme people can just walk on willy nilly.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. The femme folk.
Yeah, and because it's, mid-afternoon, like, it's not like you're trespassing on the grounds or anything. Like
It's not like they had, like, mass shooters at their school and they check
No.
everyone's ID before you walk in the campus.
There's no metal detectors, right? Yeah,
Ah, America.
it's horrible
Yeah.
because it's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
He
there's
feels
no...
pretty terrible right now too, though.
There's no like metal detectors or anything, but it is booming, and it's a beautiful campus. Lots of greenery, lots of older
You're gonna set
buildings.
this shit on fire.
A controlled small fire. I'm not gonna burn the whole university.
Just a small
down.
pyre.
Evine would know that. All of you would be aware of the repute of Castilian schools. The institutes of higher learning are known throughout Thea as some of the best. This particular one, though, has had some of its curriculum, I think, adjusted is the polite way to say it, but there's definitely some forbidden topics, and there's some revisionist shit happening here, although some of the teachers refuse to follow the new guidelines. Some of them have vanished already, but some of them are popular enough that them just getting black bagged is not necessarily an option, although there's definite rumors that their lives are being made miserable, right? Like in an attempt to get them to stop. Evine can identify to you all. She's been in contact with the Invisible College in here. They're particularly active on the grounds. There's student protests happening. Like the situation is kind of a powder keg, and you know that a little bit of chaos can go a long way. But you may also have to control it a little bit so it doesn't turn into a full-on riot on the school grounds, because some of the students might take that as a cue that the revolution is coming, and that they should...
We're really only here to kill one person.
Yep. So yeah, you're on the grounds at this point in an outside courtyard surrounded by greenery. Lots of students, professors busy about. Jimena, you cannot help but notice a lot of Vatican presence on the grounds as well, among the professors, among the staff. hard to gauge which kind of Vatachine, because, you know, there's the kind that Jimena approves of, and there's the kind that Jimena definitely disapproves of.
Isn't it kind of early to actually go for a target? I feel like I should be doing some walking around trying to get the feel for things.
Yeah, you can do a little bit of recon. Like I said, it's mid-afternoon at this point. You know Genia's going to be having her meet at sundown.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a little bit of time if you want to spend time on the grounds to start looking at stuff. You know where the offices are.
Yeah. I'm not going to go there yet. I feel like, I mean, Jimena probably wants to find a spot that would be good to set on fire.
Maybe just like a random tree in the middle of a quad.
I mean, yeah. She wasn't really planning on, like...
torching the joint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, Jimena has full control of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking of going somewhere like a courtyard or whatever, Escamod, where a lot of people will congregate just to get a basic read on things.
Well, you can... Everybody who's on the grounds can roll a wits notice, like as a info gathering.
Taken my dice out before this.
You're in a new seat.
How unprofessional.
You're definitely not getting used to the squash room. That's what we call the executive bathroom.
So you yell and hit things against the wall a lot? This is D20. What are you doing, man? Jesus.
Yeah, no. Your D20 doesn't count.
Every time Sally pulls out the D10s, I just want to eat them because they're just so perfect.
Oh,
like
yeah.
candy.
They look like... They could be like purple Jolly Ranchers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're my game science ones.
I don't know why, like, this is where I think of. Jolly Ranchers here are, like, different than the ones I used to have in Canada. Like, I had the ones that look like...
Were they square?
Yeah,
Yeah, so we used to have those.
Yeah,
and they came in, like, the Lifesavers packet.
Yep.
And then suddenly one day they were like, nah, man, rectangles and individually packaged.
Yeah. And they were, like, just transparent.
And I was like, inferior.
Yeah.
Translucent stuff. Like, I used to eat so many of those in high school.
Okay, you should wits
I got
for some notice.
7?
Right?
Okay.
I'm gonna roll that as well.
7, not to be confused with 11.
11.
Trying to remember where I put like the others.
I also got 7.
Okay. Jimena, you're pretty sure, based on where you know Rethold and Magnus are going to be to sort of help direct traffic, you found what you think is a pretty perfect spot to do like a controlled blaze.
Mm-hmm.
There's like there's a pile of stuff next to one of the halls that would probably generate a fair amount of smoke, right? Like it'll be noticeable for some distance away, and would create probably like an impressive enough blaze that would push people like outward as opposed to further towards like the administrative side where you're trying to isolate. Depending on how you want to control this too, like you might be able to cut in some of the exits so that if there's security on campus, like you might be able to isolate them so that you can do your business without, you know, having people just trying to do their job, right? Like getting mixed into the middle of it. You also got 7, right? Are you looking for something in particular? Are you just doing like general recon?
I guess guess at least at first, I just, like, you were saying that there's kind of some, like, underlying unrest or something like that. I mean, I think, well, this is only a notice. I guess I'm kind of looking for things to focus on, like people gathering. I might want to listen into some conversations. Maybe I'm not using my read yet, but I probably will once I get to a spot that seems more likely.
It takes you a little bit, but as you drift around, especially because you're listening for signs of unrest, like you do find a couple of gathering of students that talk about some of the things that have been happening in the city recently. The death of Rafaela Navarro comes up a little bit in very hushed tones. Like it's not like a topic of open discussion. But it is a cause for concern. Some people are like expressing, I guess, some anxiety as to what does that mean, and what is that gonna mean for us. Some people think it's a great thing and think that it's the sign that revolution is coming. And
I mean, where better to have these conversations than like in a place of learning?
Right.
Perfect place for politics.
Basically, you hear some of the students like speak very confidently about things that they probably don't have a lot of real understanding about.
Of course.
And that's also true to the university.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a lot of confidence, and
We build these barricades, everyone will come help us.
that's right.
Yeah.
Correct. It's like student movements, right? Like they're
Yeah.
like, we're gonna change the world right here, right now. In the couple circles that you catch, like you see, in one case an older student, in another somebody who looks like a younger teacher, like sort of shushing them and basically like encouraging them to be careful
The Julies will hear
in their conversations, right? Like just basically like, hey, like be smart about this, right? Like don't get yourself capped for
Don't get yourself like Laugard.
right, basically.
Could I or do I actually notice that there's anybody like watching these people with particular interest? Besides
In
myself?
one instance, the second group that you see, there's somebody seated across at a table reading a book
mildly smiling.
that is wearing similar colors to the other Escaras you've seen around the city. She's
I just remembered Olivia.
she's like reading a book in Old Thean, but periodically, like you see, sort of her eyes like dart at that group, as if like she's following the conversation from afar.
Her book's upside down.
Yep.
Does she notice me? Cause
There's like a Tiger Beat magazine in there.
what?
So I was I had such a high reading level when I was young, and in 3rd grade, in order to make myself read the books along with the class, I would turn the book over and read it upside down and backwards, just to challenge myself, because I was like, I hate doing this, and I should be reading something better. And the teachers would be like, Lisa, stop playing around, read your book. And I'm like,
I already read it front and back.
I am reading it. So I would start turning the book covers over so they couldn't tell that it was upside down. So I assume that's what she's doing.
But yeah, it's pretty clear from that she's at least following the conversation, if not entirely listening to it.
Cause I'm not really like none of this seems like something I want to poke at though. Is there anybody particularly loud?
One of the students is being a little obnoxious with it. Like he's clearly not 100% in it for the cause, right? There's a little bit of like,
He's
look
in
at
there
me.
for the attention.
Yeah. Like he's
Look at me, I'm up with current events.
yeah, people are not super like engaging with him, so he like picks different spots, right, as he goes, but there's a definite like he's reciting his manifesto, right? Like that's
He's like the guy in Goodwill Hunting who read that one book
I'm
That's
even
a
less
good-
interested.
and is now gonna quote it at people like he's smart.
yeah, but he's the loudest. The part that grabs your attention is that at least a couple of times he mentions Don Francisco by name, which seems to just stepped in here.
Don't growl in people's raps.
Good gracious.
At least you smell good.
Yeah, he mentioned Don Francisco's name, basically saying like the Don is out of jail, and you know people are sort of like not super interested by that. At least a couple like seem worried about it.
Christ, dog.
But yeah, like the reaction is not super great when that name comes up, and he's trying to sell it as like this is a good sign for the city.
I guess I will walk up to this person and be like, "How do you know?
That's what do you mean? How do I know?
How do you know this is good? How do you even know about Don Francisco?"
Because Don Francisco is a patriot. That's why he landed in jail in the first place.
Oh,
Are you Tom Francisco? I think he's a master of disguise.
have you met him?
Once. Before he was thrown in jail.
Once he blew his ash at me.
And did he tell you anything about his plans?
No, only that he sought to liberate Liso. I tried to join his cause, and he would not let me. And there's another student that pipes in, is like, yeah, he pestered the Don, and the Don backhanded him. He's like, that is not exactly how that happened.
Oh, so we touched you, so I guess that makes you important?
He touched my cheek.
The Don tried to teach me a lesson. He told me I was not ready. So I've been educating myself in these last 2 years, so that when the time comes, I will be ready.
He
Have
caressed
you
my
ever
cheek
thought-
aggressively.
That maybe nobody has, like, maybe because you haven't learned enough, that's why you're still alive.
Yes, but at what cost?
That doesn't even make any sense.
I would lay my life down for Castille and for Liso any day. He's starting to get like agitated.
How dare you question my loyalty?
You actually see some
How
of
dare
the students around like rolling their eyes.
So
right?
tell me, what have you done so far other than walk around and talk about things that you don't know anything about?
I'm spreading the word. I'm getting people ready.
You're just blowing hot air. Put up.
I've trained in the usage of weapons. When the revolution comes, I will be ready to support it. So should all of you. He sort of looks around, like, judgingly.
Is there anywhere around here that is less obvious and out there?
Yes. You notice that girl from before, like, is paying really close attention to your conversation right now.
I look over there and I smile. Then I say, practicing weapons, eh? I forgot what the school is. Oh my god. It's on here somewhere. Oh, Boucher.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, isn't that just the university?
I am a duelist of the Boucher school. show me what you got, perhaps. We can go somewhere.
He sneers at you as you bring it up
How dare.
and says, "Ha! Well, I would be happy to show you that the schooling of the Montaigne have nothing on Castilian swordsmanship."
I mean, that's fair.
When, if he says that and Jimena is listening, she's like, "Oh, really?"
Oh, if you would prefer.
He's like, I am schooled in the school of Aldana.
Giggle.
Now I'm just looking right
Jimena
at
is like
Jimena.
actively laughing. Like she's giggling.
He sort of looks in your direction, like,
Excuse?
and stands like a little bit straighter.
I know this isn't a thing in this game, but I like to prepare an action.
Yes, please.
I would like for at a very opportune moment for his pants to mysteriously drop.
Perfect.
Nice.
Noted. The trigger is now the most opportune moment. That is in.
So I look at Jimena and I say, would you like to take care of this or not me?
Jimena, like, through her giggles, is like, "Let me, come here. Let me see.
He walks, like, very proudly across, and he sort of gives you the look over, like,
Look
head
at
to
this little
toe,
girl.
Like,
Like-
look at this little chubby freckled girl.
like right here, right now.
Say,
You're
Where
speaking
else?
to a master. Show respect.
He sort of like smirks at that and was like, "Well then, I said I was ready at any time." And he draws a sword and gets into the stance, like,
It's gonna be fun.
hand on the hip, and points his sword forward. And as he bows, his pants fall.
Yay!
And he immediately like scampers and like pulls them up and like reties them and tries to regain some composure. People are giggling like all around.
while he is doing that, Jimena draws her sword and just slaps him on the ass with it.
Oh, I love that flat side.
Yep. Oh no, he stumbles forwards and then falls on his knees in the grass because as he stumbles, his pants are still down. So he's not fully able to regain his footing. So his sword sticks in the grass and he falls on all fours. And
They're picking on me.
immediately like scampers and pulls his pants up. It's like as he's covered in grass at this point, and he reaches for his sword and sort of looks around. By that point, students are starting to mass
We got the circle.
around, and there's laughing and giggling.
You
The
gonna
people-
dance in the middle?
some folks are just like, "Look at this dumbass," right? Like, and some other folks are like, "Oh, there's gonna be a fight."
It's like, no, there's not.
I think the fight is already done. What about the lady that's been watching us?
He's you don't see her anymore.
Alright.
Oh, she gotta tell authorities.
Her table is vacated. But yeah, he sort of flips around and points his sword and gets back into position. Like his face is like visibly flushed at this point. And he's like, I am ready. You wanted me to be in stance. I am ready. Show me then.
It's like, I never said anything about being in stance. I just wanted to, I just asked if you wanted to fight. But here we go.
I'm good.
Because Jimena is a master of Aldana. She doesn't feel a need to be like,
Yep.
Yeah. No.
she's like, Mouline's her sword. And she's just like,
You Zorro it?
basically.
Yeah.
No,
Nice.
you don't. I'm not even
Just get
gonna
X
have
right
you
there.
roll for that. Like this kid knows the basic form, but he's not a match for Jimena at
Yeah,
all.
she basically just keeps smacking him on the ass. Like,
Yep. The
on various, smacks his hand, smacks his leg.
It's
Yeah.
probably for the
whenever
best.
he
Yeah.
hit,
I would have had to kill him if I did it.
he's becoming more and more frustrated, which makes it even easier, right? Like
Yep.
he's losing even more of his form, and it's not long before he's just basically brute forcing it. Like he's just trying to get a hit in, and that just makes it
Just makes it easier to deflect.
even easier. Like he's super sloppy.
Yeah. Eventually, I feel like the end of it would be like she does the and like tosses his sword and like disarms him, and then like catches his sword also. And was like,
Yep.
ha.
Now what?
She's like, you know what you're supposed to be doing, but like clearly you don't know what you're doing. But here, have this back. You should practice more.
As you say this, there's applause from the group around. There's hooting and hollering. You even have like you even have some guilders like thrown at your feet.
She's like,
right?
ooh.
There's like people that are just like showering you with coins. And it's like
Let's do this more often.
It's like, thank you. Be here all week.
they're loving this. And then
Ooh, I'm gonna follow Lisa's opportunistic example for once. Let's say I did something that did not attract attention to myself for someone else's glory. Can I
Yes.
get a girl point?
You absolutely can.
That
What are you
counts.
talking? Yeah.
Yes, continue to do that, please. 100%. You've noticed, Evine, that during the duel, like as he's fighting Jimena, like Aldana sword fighting basically is like you point your sword forward and then you sort of put your fist on your hip, right? Like you tuck your offhand away behind your back. You notice him at least a couple of times as he's getting hit by Jimena. Like he's reaching for his pants, like expecting them to fall, and that contributes to his distraction. And you
Love it.
you find yourself from the comfort of your disguised persona also appreciating your handiwork. It's like I made him paranoid.
No, I look around people that are gathered and I say, is there anyone actually competent who can show us around the university?
There's like a little mousy Castilian girl, just probably like from even further south. Like you would peg her as probably from like the peninsula, like from San Felipe maybe. Like she's more brown faced than others, has short, very curly hair, freckles, and she sort of looks and she says, that depends on what kind of competence you're looking for. If you're asking for someone to talk you through, you know, where everything is on this campus and life as a student, I can help you. If you're looking for someone to spout political nonsense and talks of revolution, I will not be the person.
No, I don't need the latter, just the former.
Evine, no role needed. You've seen that girl before. She's part of the Invisible College.
She might not know who I am. It's not like I'm disguised myself. I'm
But
just
yeah.
wearing different clothes.
She sort of steps a little bit forward, and you see like security start to come in. Now that they're seeing like this group of people, and there's like clapping and hooting, like you can hear some people like, "All right, break it up."
I just walk away like
The
I
kid
meant
is like
to.
thoroughly humiliated and devolves into, you know, just spouting stuff to try to get some legitimacy, but his star has faded.
Porky Dean.
Yeah, and not only that, but because he's being so loud, like security is just like getting closer to him, and they're like, "You just
It's very easy to make
Stop.
distractions around here.
stop shouting, like just give it up, like break it off. We don't want to have to take you in, like just walk away, right?" So yeah, once once people start to scatter a little bit, the student girl like sort of sidles up to you. It's like, what would you like to know? Why have you come to our illustrious school?
Well, I am actually here to visit a specific professor, but for now I just want to know more about the campus. It's my first time inside.
Oh, well, glad to have you visit the grounds if that's what you're looking for. I can talk you through a little bit of our history. I've only been here a couple of years myself, but I would be happy to act as your guide. Which professor are you here to see?
Okay, let me name him.
The professor.
Il Professore. Let me see. I don't have thing. Where's my list? Dang it. Well, you know who I mean.
Yes.
I just don't have thing.
Did we
But
ever get his actual
I guess, yes.
Yeah.
You're having
Yeah.
it's on
I'm
the
just looking
blacklist.
for the kill
Gotcha.
list.
I guess my question is, do you give the professor's name?
Yeah, I say that he is an expert on Cerneth civilization. Professor Aguilar.
Um,
Aguilar, I guess.
those of you who are here, roll me either wits notice or empathy.
What's empathy?
Well, that's just stupid. 3.
3.
Oh.
Well,
Or no, 4. I got 4.
Can you explode your 10?
No, I don't have one.
Oh.
I only have 4 dots in both wits and notice.
Gotcha.
well,
And I got 8.
Jimena is still basking a little bit in the
She's
the
counting her
glory
Yeah,
and
guilders.
attention.
Jimena is distracted at the moment.
She's counting her guilders.
Yeah. And spiriting it
I know
away
that we
somewhere on
joked
her
about it,
person.
but it is 11.
It is a.
La la la.
Mm-hmm.
She's like an anime character where she has like the pockets that don't exist, or like suddenly they're pulling things out of places, and you're like, where were you keeping that?
Don't worry
Yep.
about it.
Like, right?
Jimena, you're half paying attention because you're still, you got 20 extra guilders out of this duo, and you even got people who are like, lining up to be like, teach me, right?
Can I touch your sword hand?
No, touch me.
Right, stay away.
You may kiss the ring.
Bad touch, bad touch.
I already have a long list of platonic suitors. I don't
Right?
need more.
You may kiss my sword, but not my hand.
Unless you want to be added to the platonic friend fiction.
That's right. That's right.
Erotic friend fiction.
Erotic friend fiction.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Marlena and Evine, the girl is good, but there's a definite shift when you pronounce that name. She basically has to suppress an instinctive reaction as Aquilar's name is brought up. And she sort of catches herself, like it's nobody around probably caught up on it. It's very subtle, but she sort of follows up with a yes, he is a foremost expert on the Cerneth and even owns a few genuine artifacts that have been stored here on the grounds under very secure lock and keys. As you know, so little is known of the Cerneth, and whatever we uncover is very advanced. We don't exactly know how all of these things work, although Professor Aguilar is one of Thea's foremost minds on it. She's mostly reciting this stuff. Like, this is like a... She's not speaking in a... it's like she's basically learned this like textbook answer and sort of gives that to you. And she follows it up with is that why you wanted to talk to the professor? I know his reputation carries far and wide.
Can I read her?
You sure can.
Because I have an urge to do something that might kill me, but that's okay. Well, we can probably kill him first. It's fine.
I'm still working off your wounds.
No, sorry.
No?
Actually, I'm not really.
No.
Sorry, give me a second here.
Sasha snoring.
It's really cute.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
You can hear it from here, like a huge
It
thing.
always makes me so sad because like Rhea snores, but like it's never like it's loud enough so that you can hear it, but it's never loud enough to like catch on a microphone.
Right.
Yeah.
So like I try to get in there and get like a video of her snoring, but A, as soon as you turn
Get
the
close
camera
enough, yeah,
on,
they
she
know.
wakes up,
Right.
and B, even when I can get close enough, no, dream shake. It just doesn't. The microphone can never pick it up, and it's like when she snores, it sounds. She does the like.
Yeah.
Like it sounds like it's stuck in her nose, and it's so cute.
Her virtue is coins. Adaptable.
Okay. It's not one I see often.
And her hubris is also coins.
Oh, interesting.
Relentless.
Well then.
Have we actually moved along? Are we still in the crowd?
Well, like she's sort of moving you about so that she can show you some of the buildings, and as you converse, is indicating, you know, the story of this and that hall and who teaches there, and so you're sort of moving along.
Well, when we get somewhere that looks relatively like, you know, not a whole lot of people around, or no one in earshot really, I'll say, actually, I want to interview him. I already have the story. I just need to know the ending.
She sort of looks at you and is trying to maintain a sense of like neutrality with that, right? Like, but there's a clear struggle in, like, she's basically trying to get a read on you, right? Like, she's not exactly sure what your intents are. And then after a pause, asks you, "That's interesting. What is the nature of your story?"
It is a story of change and of fate.
You didn't even see it. I just
Yeah.
heard the panting.
Talk.
But I am not the only one after this story. There's another man. He is older, and I believe wishes for this ending to be his ending as well. And I wish to save him. But
That sounds ominous.
it should.
Good.
She sort of pauses for a second, like she's weighing whether she should take a specific risk. And then says, "Well,
I don't know what you expect from me, though.
my fellow students and I sometimes gather at this particular hall," and she points a hall across from the administrative area. Usually until well into the night to discuss coursework and current events.
Oh.
If at any point you need assistance, seek us there.
Thank you very much. That sounds like something we very well need. Tonight will be a particularly interesting night, so if your fellow students and yourself could be especially mindful. And also, we are concerned about making sure that
The finger dicks.
other students who are not involved in this are kept safe.
She sort of nods very quickly and then extends a hand towards you. And she says, "Well, if you need our assistance,
You know, I'm remembering
let us
something.
know."
Don't we have some sort of symbol? I forgot.
Close.
You do have a...
I'm not the one. No, I don't know if I'm the one who has it though.
that much I'm not sure.
Okay. I'm trying to see.
Evine probably has one though, because Evine has been in touch with Invisible College on here.
Well, it's the signet. I look at Humana and say, "Remember the signet you got from Hector?"
And Jimena's like, oh yeah. Just
Of
like,
course.
I believe our
reaches-
friend here would want to see
reaches in her like pocket that's somewhere on her person and just like coin flips it. Like, here you go.
There's like a look of recognition. She doesn't. Her eyes dart really quickly away from the signet after she's seen it, and she nods and says, "I see."
I should have led with that. I almost forgot we had it. But he is the one that is coming. He does not need to die. He has many allies.
If it's too short, fold it in half.
She nods again without saying anything, and then says,
If it's too short,
"I see.
fold it in half. Like
Thank
on the
you
side,
for being candid."
Inward.
Sometimes risks are necessary to
And then tuck it in on that
make
side.
progress happen.
So that way there's more.
She sort of looks at all of you and says, I'm Valeria Munoz. If you
Ooh, Valeria.
need to reach for me, try the hall, especially after sundown. Mention my name if you can't see me directly."
So, Valeria Munoz. Hi, Marilena.
Glad to meet you, Marilena.
You want to introduce yourself to Valeria?
She's like, oh, hola, soy Jimena.
You get a curtsy.
I feel like she would probably actually say her full name, but I'm too lazy to say it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of name.
It's a lot of name.
It's a lot of name. It takes a good breath.
Yeah.
Honestly, you should at least know who some of us are. I've made a fair amount of of a splash around town.
There's also very little acknowledgement of any of this.
Of course,
right? So,
just two people meeting for the first time.
Yep. And she nods and says, "I should get back."
That would be best. Thank you again for showing us around.
And she, again, curtsies and sort of heads back to the courtyard where the gathering has more or less broken up, where you can still hear people talking about the quote-unquote jewel and how funny it was. So that's that. Right, like you hear about the Saldana Master was here and
She was 8 feet tall
oh,
and
no,
had.
there's definitely way more moves being talked about, Jimena, that you remember ever taking.
Oh yeah, and then at one point she blew like okay.
Yes, sing my song.
Right.
Say what you want. Just make me sound cool.
I feel like Jimena gets up behind people and whispers, "Yeah, and she did this one thing." You're
Just
feeling the fire.
encourages it. Yeah.
Don't forget about when she did this.
Yeah.
That definitely happened. I was there. I mean, you really were.
So
You picked me up with his mind powers and shook me like a doll. It's true. I saw the whole thing.
I saw everything.
right.
I see Mama.
It's hilarious.
That's how it happened. Swear to God.
Diaz help me.
Yep. Yep.
Seriously, I'm just messing around right now. Let's see. I think the only other thing I would really like to do before things go crazy is actually sit in on one of his lectures if he's having one today.
There isn't one this afternoon.
He does a Tuesday, Thursday class.
That's
Yeah.
They're very popular. You gotta get on that list.
There's
early.
this
Even getting an audit spot is difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I could just do some I'm just gonna sit around and see if anyone approaches me type stuff.
I mean, you all made a spectacle of yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're on to you.
Nobody really approaches you so much as you do notice periodically some of the staff is watching, but nobody really makes an approach.
Or is it just taking forever?
Maybe
It's been there for half an hour, and now his cart isn't there anymore.
I forget the DoorDash app is such bullshit.
I ordered donuts.
It does that on mine. So, I have Sally and I made an order in January that's still open on my app.
But you ate the food already.
Yeah. No, we got the food and it it's long gone, but it's still showing up. Not always.
Because it's if they don't, because they have to press it on their thing, and I've had people where it kept saying that they were waiting for the order, and then suddenly it was they picked it up, they're approaching, your food's been delivered. And I was oh, they forgot to press the button.
Yeah.
It's here already.
But he's been waiting there for at least a half an hour. But now when I look at it, his car isn't there anymore. So I'm something's happening.
What are you doing with our donuts?
Basically. It's a man's fault.
The app is probably lying to you also. It
Basically.
does that.
Yeah.
So yeah, like in that putzing around and it's getting really close to sundown
Alright.
at this point.
I went to the bookstore and tried to see, like, buy something from the bookstore.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you do. You got the university, you get the thing that has the logo.
Yep. And I'll be
You
like,
get a pennant.
Yeah.
you're gonna go buy a book?
Cape.
Yes.
And they're like, absolutely, you can buy this book. $300,
Yeah.
please.
Oh my God.
300 guilders. That's how much Jenya paid for her house
Yep.
and all of Ricardo's land.
That's kind of crazy.
Books are expensive.
Oh yeah, they are. Would you like that one in Old Thean? Would you like it in? I was gonna say Odysseian, but they wouldn't say
Revised
that.
thing.
Yeah.
Castilian.
So many ways.
So many ways.
Meanwhile, Jenya's talking her way out of a fight.
Yep.
Well, it's not really talking her way out of a fight. It's just sort of like, this is stupid. Why are we fighting? We shouldn't fight. Yesterday I wanted to kill you. Today I'm like, meh.
Better to be friends.
I already killed someone.
You got that out of your system.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I already had something to eat. It was pretty heavy.
Oh yeah.
Had a late lunch.
Was really greasy.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Worst.
You're him and God damn it.
Marlena?
No. Evine! What are you doing?
Amanda's desperately looking for her laptop cord.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
So I have no idea which box it's in.
Uh-oh.
Or if I packed it at all.
Uh-oh.
Evine misplaced her bow.
But,
Navene's in one of those alternate timelines
Evine
again.
would be...
Yeah.
That's right. I think Evine would be checking up on her invisible college
Peeps.
contacty peoples and pretending not to know the other two
Nice.
Yeah.
as to not draw association.
I don't know them.
Right?
We don't run in the same circles.
She doesn't even go here.
Yes.
Such a poser.
You go with Coco.
What is it? Get in, loser? We're going shopping?
Yeah. We're going to overthrow the government of Lisa.
I'd jump in that carriage.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want, like, a fan art of that. Of, like, Evine driving the carriage with everyone else in the back, and is like, get in, loser! But it's, oh god, what is his name?
Which one?
Isak.
I was gonna say Isak.
Yeah, it's Isak, like, what? He's Katie. Get in, loser! Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ricardo
One
has
of us now.
sunglasses. Yep. I want that now.
I was actually.
Did it pause? Yeah, it did.
You're back.
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah, we were just like quietly rustling paper after a while.
Well, we were chit-chatting for a little while.
Yeah.
Evine's checking in on her invisible college buddies, trying to pretend like she doesn't know us or something.
Nice.
And then there was a lot of then there was a lot of Mean Girl quoting.
There's another one down there. That one's not mine though. I don't think.
You're gonna be finding those like,
No, that one's yours.
Oh, it is mine.
forever
It's shiny.
in your house.
None of mine's are shiny. What? These
You'll be
stars?
finding these stars forever.
That's okay.
Evine, is there anything specific you want to check on your buddies about?
Well, Amanda is too move weary to remember exactly why Glenn talked to me during the explanation today. So it's like,
Well, mostly we're here to kill this professor dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're here to find the Professore and kill him. But your guys' thing is you're trying to figure out where he is and then create a distraction so the students aren't harmed. And then...
Yeah,
that's a problem. I already know where his office is. Wait, I guess I should know if he's in the campus in the evening.
Oh, Amanda, where's Hector?
oh,
You gotta find that fucker again.
right.
Yes.
That's right. I was like, there was something very specific. I'm forgetting.
yeah.
Now you know.
That was it. I left my little, like, not quite calling card, my anti-calling card of moving his shit about.
That's right.
So I think while trying to see if I can get some, because he would be on his way to do some damage.
Yep.
So I would V would probably be trying to see if she can coordinate a distraction. Because I think the idea is to play support and let him have his hero moment.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, right now he's kind of on he's having a death wish mission or a suicide mission.
All right. Well, I guess that'll be another wits notice. Jimena, you got your spot to create your distraction, and it's right about time. Are you waiting for Evine to be done with her business, or?
Yeah, I'm waiting for someone to tell me, like,
Now.
Yeah.
Because as far as Jimena knows, it's sunset.
Yep.
But I don't know if other people are already, like, in place or not, because I'm not...
Yeah.
If I can't see you, I don't know what you're doing.
I was basically just fucking around until I got to closer to the evening. I feel like somewhere before sunset I would have to try to go up to the office though.
If you try to get into the administrative wing, like, you make it only to a certain point before basically security turns you away and tells you, like, yeah, this is office visit hours are not right now.
Or not
so
right now.
You can't.
I mean,
can't go past this point.
Yeah, because...
I'm sure Evine can though.
Yeah, but Evine is off doing
Another 10.
something else. 10?
Exactly, evenly 10 for the first. I always have, like, random leftovers, but it was like...
You go back to the hotel, the little inn, and follow Hector's track up to a point where it turns into one of the side alleys, and to your surprise, you lose Hector's trace altogether.
Wow.
And it gives you pause because you're like, I mean, he's decent, but he's not that good, right? And so you spend a little bit of time in that alley, sort of like digging around, and you find like a pile of crates that you finally like start to look around, and as you move it, you notice the entrance to a tunnel that seems to go like in two different directions from this entrance.
He's like down by their house.
It's
Did I put the right address?
it's dark as shit in there.
Yeah,
There's
that's
no
good.
light, there's no natural light, right? Like, and it looks like just tunnels. It looks like it runs really far in either direction. probably like part of a network that maybe runs under the city.
Is it sewers?
Yeah.
Doesn't really look like sewers, but you know, you're basically like almost 100% positive at this point that you lost this track, because at this point he probably went underground.
So we need Jenny here to do her earth sense or something.
Yeah. My Russian ground mole.
And I'll let you follow that track if you want to go explore those tunnels.
Yeah.
It's dark as shit
I will
in there.
Not that
I
that
will
is.
do my shadow whisper to let the others know, like, going underground.
And then
I always just imagine
You hear
that
a
Yvonne is
completely
just
different
Deadpool.
voice that you've never heard before.
Yeah.
yeah. All right. Well, using the same roll, you basically work your way in these tunnels, and they're not like, it's not like a full web, right? Like there's a couple turns, but you've navigated enough of these that you can more or less keep your bearing, and you basically get to a spot where you find what looks like a little cache, right? Like there's a bedroll in there that's super dirty and ratty, but there's also like a few boxes of like a few miniature barrels of gunpowder, some empty military rations,
Wow, he's been really
and
sticking
a
with this, huh?
little like what looks like a footlocker. There's nothing in it, but it looks like it acts like a step stool, because when you step on it, you see daylight, and you find an opening that comes like in between two buildings on campus. The grass has been disturbed. There's a pretty good chance Hector has passed through here.
Glass. It was frosted.
I send a little shadow mental note message. I'm coming back out.
Are the
Yeah.
buildings like somewhere that we've been before?
It's not far from the administrative buildings.
There's
A
already
stone's
here.
throw from the library. Hector is very likely on the school grounds somewhere.
Well, he's here. He's here somewhere.
He is nigh.
Wants to go down.
He is nigh.
Yep. Which gives you a feel of maybe it's time to get things moving, because if he's here, he may not wait.
Yeah, I tell Jimena, I think we need our distraction now.
Okay.
Somewhere near this building, and I point to the administration building.
Yeah.
Is that where that pile of stuff was? 'Cause
Oh yeah. Jimena has the perfect spot already
Okay.
identified.
Because
She's done her
I'm
work.
just gonna go in there. And
Jimena she does the like, and just kind of like turns her belt so it's behind her, and like flicks the thing and sort of tosses a spark.
Sneeze.
And
Oh.
kind of like woof, into the thing, and then just sort of whoosh, like, oh no, there's fire. It's like,
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh my goodness, look at this fire. Everyone should evacuate.
I do my best to convince people to run.
Yep.
And
Shall
I will
we-
spend a hero point to be a raven or a crow or whatever we call me.
Yeah, as this happens, you finish your conversation,
Yeah.
Zhenya, and sort of step out of the courtyard, and
Just fly away.
you see a plume of smoke as you take wing over the city and start to hear the commotion from afar. as
I walk into the building, back up to where they stopped me before.
security is rushing out.
So are they still there?
Well, there's some that are still there, but there's obviously some panic. Some are sticking around.
I keep walking until someone stops me.
You see some professors coming through. To be completely fair, like a lot of people are exiting the building, so you're bumping into people at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You see like a gaggle of professors like sort of coming from
I do
the
know
top.
what he looks like, right? No?
I'm not sure that you've seen him before.
Okay, then I gotta use
Some of
I
you-
gotta use my powers for this then. Okay.
Some of you have. Zhenya would know what he looks like.
But who looks like? The professor?
Yeah, because.
Oh, have I actually seen him underground?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. You've seen him in that facility,
Okay.
and
I was like, I'm trying to remember who I saw, and it was the other
Yeah.
woman.
I just need
Evine
to
would
make sure he
also
doesn't
know
get away.
Yeah.
what he looks like.
Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna touch one of the professors. You know, in a like show of concern, like, have you seen the Professor Aguilar? And then I'm gonna trace through them because the professor would be one step away. So.
Sure. Run your dice. Jimena, outside, your distraction is having the effect intended. Although people are starting to panic a little bit and starting to go into different directions, but you hear on the offside where a bunch of the students are starting to funnel, like in the opposite direction.
Oh, that's when I needed to roll 3 10s. Yeah.
Basically, like gaggles, like you have a couple of Swedish chefs, like just yelling and making noise, and you see students like walk back out. You hear stuff breaking on the other side. Fairly nondescript, but you know.
All right,
Yeah,
got me.
once
12.
Once like people start moving in the direction that she wants them to be going, she sort of like, you know, nonchalantly sweeps the fire so it's blocking the other exit. Like, can't get out that way.
Right.
Gotta go the other way.
Yeah, no, you managed
Oops.
to get a
Whoops.
pretty good system in place so that, you know, people are headed where you want them to go, and you managed to cut off some of the security. You sort of went to check how it is. There's a line being formed. People are starting to like get buckets, right, like and line up to a well and do a chain, and
then it's like, oh, you're cute.
and
I look at you.
it's panic. They're trying to get like the students out. Some of the professors are coming from the administrative business building as well. Marlena, you get a trace and you see from the top above the balcony like groups of professors, like, you know, talking, and you're pretty sure that one of them is Professor Aguilar, sort of looking over the railing at 2 levels up, right, into the quad.
So he's 2 levels up.
There's a big
Surveying.
staircase that goes up like 2 levels. And he's with a group of other professors, like there's security folks up there, and there's a few like sort of looking at what the commotion is. There's people yelling like, there's a fire outside, like please evacuate the building. To
Oh, chocolate.
oh, thank you. But you think middle-aged man wearing like an ornate coat and cravat is your guy. He's sort of peering over the railing. Your senses ping almost immediately, and you hear a commotion to your left as one of the bookshelves topples over.
Oh shit.
And from behind that bookshelf...
Wait, is this stopping you two levels up from me still?
He's still up there. This is happening at your level.
Oh, okay.
You see the very disheveled form of Hector basically bursting out from a passageway from behind that bookshelf. Pistol drawn. And you hear like a just ton of weapons getting drawn all over the hall, right? Like you hear people being like, drop it! And Hector just bellows at the top of his lungs. Just calls out for Joaquin and says, come out, coward. I'm here to serve you what you deserve. And there's like a yell from guards for him to drop his weapon and do it now before he gets himself shot. He does not.
I walk towards him. He probably recognizes me.
He doesn't look at you.
Well,
but
I'm not like gonna stop him. I go like behind him and I give him the bless kiss.
Before you approach him, since he's not sure of your intents, he basically like yells, stop.
Halt.
You're not alone. I am here to help you. There are many who are here to help you.
He starts to breathe really heavily and he's like, I have to do this.
I never said you shouldn't. Only make sure you can do it and live. And I give him the kiss. It's +6, by the way. 6 dice.
Okay. He keeps...
Oh. This was filled.
Oh, nice.
You weren't expecting that.
No, I was not expecting that.
The situation is incredibly tense. Some people are now calling for you to drop down and release any weapons that you have. You hear probably...
I just show my hands and there's nothing.
The person in charge bellowing and telling to Hector to drop his gun or he'll be gunned down right there on the spot, that this is the last time they're telling him that.
I think maybe that's what the strike was to indicate.
And
How many people are there here?
I mean, it's a bit of a commotion, but there's at least 7 pistols drawn on him.
Okay. Is there a way out? Damn. I think we're just gonna have to walk through it.
So, as you're trying to decide what to do,
I'm going where he's going.
you see 2 levels above Professor Aguilar, like, there's a little tap on the side of the railing, and you see him, like, basically, like, tap something inside his hands. You hear a voice shout from inside the passageway and that just calls out and says, Hector, you fool, you're gonna get yourself killed, get down. And there's a small shape that comes out, tackles Hector to the ground, and as that shape drops Hector, the best way to describe it is you think lightning strikes inside the hall, shatters the banisters, burns a few of the guards that were pointing weapons to a crisp, kills professors.
Nice.
There's...
Well, not nice, but, you know.
I'm like right there, so how much damage do I take?
You get thrown on your back and your ears ring there for a second. when you like sort of shake it off, Hector has survived. You recognize the child that's accompanying Don Francisco has tackled him to the ground.
Oh.
Don Francisco has put out his head out of the passageway, drawing a pistol. There's smoke everywhere,
That fucker.
and there's about 30 bodies. And Francisco said, "Get to cover, is gonna do it again." And you see at the top, Aguilar basically like taps inside his head again, his hand again. Lightning strikes inside the hall a second time.
So, are we leaving?
This time, fire catches on the banisters, the curtains, and he sort of runs in the opposite direction.
Because, okay, I might die, but right now I feel like it's fate that I go towards him, so I'm walking through it.
Is the courtyard mostly vacated at this point?
Yes.
So if Jimena starts hearing like weird explosion noises.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, once I see fire, I probably yell into a shadow, Evine, make sure Jimena knows!
Well, yeah, like as soon as she's like, wait, what? Shit! She would put out the fire that's outside and go towards the explosion noises. And be
Yes.
like, I know what that sound is. Like,
Is the professor inside on a balcony or
Yes.
out? Okay, so I
He's
can't
in-
see him from
No.
the outside.
No, but as you arrive, you clearly hear what sounds like thunderclaps coming from inside the tower. Parts of the tower, like on the first level, explodes out. There's a hole now.
I'm gonna keep going towards him.
I'm gonna land
Well,
on...
at this point, there's no stairs. The stairs are torn to shit.
Give me a minute.
You're gonna have to climb.
I land on Jimena's shoulder as she's running.
Well, then I guess they run up towards me and I just point up.
Yeah.
As you get inside, it looks like a fucking war scene in there. There's dead bodies everywhere. People are trying to figure out what is happening. There's maimed people, like, yelling. There's an overturned bookshelf, and Hector is just, like, face planted, his eyes just wide. He's sort of staring into space. On him is the kid. Don Francisco is like his back to the bookshelf, and they've drawn Marilena to that side. And the kid leaves from Hector and goes to Marilena and says, "Are you okay?"
I am fine. Did I take damage?
You took 2 dramatic as you got launched into one of the walls. Your ears are still ringing.
I say, I have had better, but the job is not yet done.
so when Jimena gets in the room, she basically is just kind of going to extinguish any fire that is in there. Just like suddenly all the fires go out.
Yep.
It's like, what? And then Jimena, because
she's Jimena.
is like, which way?
And I point.
Yeah.
Right? It's like,
He's upstairs, but there are no stairs.
it's like, come, Guerrero.
Is that me?
Yeah. means crow.
Yes.
So Jimena, who has 5 dots in both finesse and athletics, and has a specialist in athletics,
Ooh.
which means I basically don't have to roll for that. Ah, Jesus.
All the way to John.
That's
Yeah.
right. See, it was easy.
Is going to fucking Dread Pirate Roberts the stairwell.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Running start and just.
If anybody would like to accompany,
Well, I'm on her shoulder.
athletics,
Yeah, because you could.
Can I, What can I do to
What
help
do I
you?
roll with it? Can I roll resolve with it? Because
You
I really
can.
think I should be there.
you can.
Oh well.
do I give her a resolve plus athletics as well on her shoulder?
You can. Yes. Yes, Evie.
Everybody go.
As you leave the overturned bookshelf and start to scamper across the
I rolled like 3 10s so
the
far.
destroyed staircase, you hear Francisco voice clear as crystal yell, "Watch your step, that bastard Aguilar has traps all over this tower. It's his damned artifacts."
That makes sense.
9.
How much can I sense of
14.
objects?
You've never tried before. Well, not in that fashion, probably.
Amanda got 8
8? Yeah.
to
Oh, yeah. You
parkour.
scamper up. It's like an Assassin's Creed game
Yeah.
right now.
So, okay, here's what I have in mind. I need to guide fate toward the direction that we need to take. That means I need to make sure that nobody falls into these traps, which means that I need to find a way to see those possible futures and avoid them.
Okay.
So, this will probably become a Tessera eventually, but what am I rolling?
Okay.
Which way roll?
Well, that would be a resolve roll.
So, was my role to help Jimena? Or was my role for me to do something?
Well, I think it's both, right? Like you're trying to
Okay.
keep track of this.
I have wings at the moment.
Yep.
So if he's tapping something in his hand,
Mm-hmm.
I think Zhenya is going to go for whatever that thing is to try to take it from
Okay.
him.
Oh yeah, I got 8 on the athletics. Sorry, I got distracted.
Okay. You're good.
Yeah.
That means you can scamper off.
Let me notice.
With my little crow
Craft.
face.
Ooh, craft would be great.
Yep.
I don't really craft those things, but I don't know.
Well, you can try to tap into that. You're also a crafter, so.
Because that's a much better roll for me. Aw, so many ones. Oh no. It's fine. 1.
Yeah, coming up with little math equations for all these fucking little dice.
Oh.
Yep.
So fun.
Yep.
Okay. That's an 8. Okay, I got 8.
Okay. You've never really felt anything quite like this. Rigged all over this building, and as you reach out for them, like you can feel it. There's stuff that is incredibly old.
Yes, it's those artifacts.
9 p.m.
You should totally became an
It's so-
expert in them just to like have bombs.
It feels so ancient to you that for a moment, like just tapping into that, like you get that sense of like vertigo and almost like fear, right? Like have you ever stepped into like a very old, very large church, and for a second like the massiveness of this like makes you like a little bit dizzy and almost like a little fearful? That's basically like sort of the feeling you have. Like you're like, this stuff is like awing you, and it's rigged all over the building. it's built into the bones of this building.
So the building itself is a trap?
Well, it's younger than that. It's been built around those, but they're woven into it.
But can I actually do, like, can I tell what the safer path would be from that?
More or
no?
less.
Okay.
More or less, but you get a feeling that your man is going straight into where all the traps are laden.
Oh, Hector.
Wait, my man isn't the professor, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Phew. Wait, no, that's still bad. Wait, if he dies in there, doesn't that count as
They're
us
his
killing
traps.
him? But can we set them off ourselves?
Well, that's why I'm trying to get his trigger mechanism.
Yes. Well, I'm not as fast as some of you. I would probably suggest that somebody has to stop him from going.
You can yell it in Vodace, which you can understand, and then you can yell it in something that I can understand. No, because everyone else speaks
I would assume that the professor
Castilian, so that doesn't work.
knows more languages than we do.
Yeah, that's fair.
I
I forget that he's also Castilian. That doesn't help.
But yeah, I mean, I go along and tell them where to go, but I also say, like, he's going to the heart of where all of these traps are I guess more numerous, and so it will be hard to stop him there. We need to stop him before that point.
Yeah, you managed to communicate a fair idea of how these things are laid. They're all over this corridor that he goes to. You also can sense some of them are on his person. So with that, you arrive at the top of the stairs. There's a bunch of professors there, like, tending to each other because they're now cut off from the ground level. One of them is in what looks like an evening gown, and she's clearly in shock because she's looking at where her arm used to be, and it's no longer there. And you see, like, some of the other professors are trying to, like, get around her and tend to it, and she's just looking at it, and it doesn't bleed, like, it's cauterized, but there's just, like...
Yeah.
Well, at least there's that.
Yeah, like, part of the railing next to her is just gone, and people are just, like, very carefully trying to approach her so she doesn't freak out and fall off, like, 2 levels below. Yeah, it's pandemonium up there, and Aguilar is just, like, running across one of the corridors.
Ugh, I just realized something. Is he close enough that I can pull him?
Oh, yeah. You got your magic
That's
lasso.
going to have to be your approach, which is where we're going to go next.
Okay.
Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
How do I forget about that? Like,
Yeah.
the simple stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know.
You want to use your big guns.
I've been using a lot of hero points.
So yeah, Jimena's up there. So Zhenya as a bird.
Virginia.
And now Marilena. You hear Don Francisco yell at the bottom for people to get the hell out of the building and to take the wounded with them. There's some sort of effort in trying to organize the chaos that's happening at the ground floor, but Zhenya, even in your state, you can clearly hear the building is, like, creaking and groaning. If it continues to take damage like this, there's a pretty decent chance the building will collapse.
Okay, well, that'll be my next step.
I wish I knew how these worked.
Because I assume the building's made of stone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I wonder if you could contain some of that.
Jimena because I realized last time I did this that I read my own description of how it works wrong.
Yes!
And beat myself up way more than I needed to.
It was for dramatic effect.
It was.
Yeah. When we're coming to approaches, since we're trying to get the one guy without getting us or everybody else, she's going to send her children after him.
Good.
Run, little starlings.
Go
Be
little
free.
firelings.
Little tinders.
Yeah. Because I realize I take a flesh wound for every 5 that I create.
Oh,
Not a dramatic
Oh, yeah, you
for every 5 that I
Yeah,
create.
Yeah,
Which is what I did last time.
Well, it was the first time you used it, so
Yeah.
now you're used to
Now
it.
I know how to do it. So.
The first time is always the roughest.
No, it's the summoning the Red Bull is the one that kicks my ass.
Yeah.
Yep.
But the firelings, you know, they hurt, but not as much as I made them last time.
Yeah.
La 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 la.
The Red Bull. I just got weird chill.
Yeah. And the Red Bull ran close behind me. Covered the
For yours, Zhenya, you're going for
Whatever the mechanism is. Yeah, his remote. Because that's obviously what these are. He's triggering the trap somehow.
Alright, so that'll be, since you're a bird,
With my grabby crow feet.
yeah, there'll be some kind of finesse related roll. I'll let you use your brawl.
Okay, thank
with
you.
it.
I have 2 points. Shania has no finesse.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah. That's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. But I got
Yeah.
brawl, so
Nana has all the finesse.
and I have a legendary trait in brawl, so
yes.
and I have 6 dots in brawl, so for fun.
I know if Evine is taking an action.
That's that. And then I get 1 for having
Is there anything
the 6 dot.
she could do about booby traps?
Well, you heard Marlena's account of where those are at, so you can try to go temper with them. I will tell you that these are very arcane. They're ancient devices, so
Maybe you could just shoot the
I was gonna
trigger
say,
thing
just
off.
trigger them without anyone on it. Or
yeah, you definitely can attempt that.
Oh, I was meaning shoot the trigger thing mechanism off of his hand.
Oh,
But
do
But we don't know that it's in his hand.
well, one of them is.
well, there's that assumption because he tapped something in his hand both times.
It's true.
8 again.
If you wanna do a coordinated action with Zhenya, who's gonna try to go grab whatever that is, I'll let you do a aim action. You're gonna try to pull him too, right?
Well, he's all off balance now.
Yeah.
There's a crow coming at his face, something shooting at his hand, something else pulling by the belly button.
Someone tries to set him on
I
fire.
will also add in, if I can, maybe not this one, but just in general. If I see that he's getting anywhere close to one that I could trigger
Okay.
by shooting at it or something, just be like, haha.
Okay.
What do I roll though? I don't. To pull.
It's a pull,
Yeah.
that's a weaponry.
Oh right. Okay.
I have 24 points to spend.
Resolve?
Finesse, but
I feel like I shouldn't
I am
up
resolved.
her finesse.
I'll let you use resolve.
It's not her thing.
You don't want me to?
You can make a case for that.
Okay.
That's fine.
Just springboarding off of Amanda's opportunistic moments. Just me flying at the person setting off booby traps count as going with the plan,
It does.
even though it's a danger to myself.
I mean, I already assumed it got the commit to a dangerous action. I believe it's Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
When you start walking towards the explosions,
Oh yeah,
that counts.
I'm flying into the arms of danger. Back before I had 8 sorceries, I used to have so many hero points, and now I can barely hold on to 3.
Yep.
11.
That's what happens. 11?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've only got 1 hero point left right now. Oh wait, 2 because I just got one.
There you go.
Great. 11. 10.
Makes my 8 feel stupid. Even with 4 10s, I still only made it out with 8. I had an extra 5 left over.
Do you have too many big numbers or too many small numbers?
Too many big
And
numbers.
how much do you have again, Megan?
Do I need to roll anything to use my sorcery?
Only for guiding them, but I'll let you use your weaponry for that. So your regular weapon roll will work, like your finesse weaponry. They're kind of an extension of you.
Man, we're giving the villains dice. Lame.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got 2 of these.
Yep.
No! Oh, I get 1 bonus die myself, though.
It's giving me dice.
Wrong die. I do. Not doing anything. 6.
I got 10.
10. Okay. All right.
Stuck my head on light.
As you come up and around, like, there's people in the corridor still, like, vacating offices, trying to figure out what the hell happened. Some of them have run away from the banister. You're trying to catch up to Professor Genia, and you get delayed slightly because as you approach, there's another tap, and your instinct, like, tells you, like, pull the brakes, and as you do, something passes from top to bottom on the hall. It just feels like wind coming down, and you're coming at the same time as one of the fleeing professors, and that professor basically, like, wherever that part fell,
Yeah.
it's almost like a guillotine fell
Oh.
down.
Wind
It's like
blade.
13 ghosts. Gross.
Well, it's
What is the name of the? It's not Gilgamesh. It's the Disney evil king bat.
The Chernobog?
Chernobog. Yes, that's the Chernobog's powers, according to Genia.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Chernobog is the opposite of Matushka,
Yeah.
and he does weather and shit. So like
Yeah.
the wind.
Yeah, it's like some kind of
He's
force
bad.
came
Yeah.
down, right? It doesn't feel like it's physical, although you see, like, on the floor,
The cuts.
there's, like, a clear cut, like, at the bottom, like, deep into the stone.
Yeah.
That professor is super dead. And it's not a pretty sight, so you don't necessarily spend a lot of time looking at that.
Nope.
Um,
That's not how war works. He's dead.
Marlena, you really don't want this guy to get away. And he's about to get away from Genia at this point because you see the bird dashing through and then
No.
sort of circling about like, nope, ain't going there. And as he is about to turn the corner, you basically focus your will on him and go ahead and grab him by the coat
Go Wonder Woman.
and sort of pull him backwards before he can round that corner.
Nice.
And he starts to stumble back towards where the bird is, towards where there's now a swarm of flaming insects sort of getting into the corridor, and they start to ram into him, setting fire to his coat. And he immediately starts to panic.
Good.
His coat's on fire, and he starts to wiggle out of it, and he's out of balance, obviously, from just having been pulled. At which point, an arrow pierces through the hall and hits him right in the hand.
I was like, in the knee! Sorry.
And you see what looks like a coin
Okay.
sort of
Hey, is this Dresden
come
Falls
on
again?
up.
Yeah, right?
And fly through the air just in time for Genia
For my
to
little
swoop
claws.
by and grab this thing
Yeah.
in
Ooh,
your,
shiny
Grab
thing.
the
in
shiny.
your little crow claws.
I think in Ricardo's voice, I got it!
Yep.
Oh.
I thought
Yeah.
Ricardo said no.
It never gets
Easy.
less creepy. Yeah, you hear Ricardo's voice like slightly, I got it.
Mechanical, yeah.
Like,
I love it.
no. Yep.
It's like my favorite sound ever. That weird, like, bone rattle noise they make in their throats. I love it.
So it's like with combined efforts, you manage to get that coin out.
With our powers combined.
Yep.
At that moment, he sort of rolls on the ground, sort of to pull his coat out and also try to pull off the fire that's caught to his
Joke's on
hands.
you, that fucker.
Yeah, it never goes away.
Right?
It just
As he
keeps-
tries to pull his coat off, it just spreads to a different
Yeah,
part of his clothes.
He's starting to yell and reaches for what looks like to be like a pistol and thinks better of it.
Yeah, sure. Put
And while
gunpowder
he's
your
in
hand while you're on
pain,
fire.
Reaches for something in his pocket that looks like another coin, but
Ugh.
this time he throws it towards where Genia is. Genia, roll me straight finesse.
Oh.
Ooh, 10. I don't get to explode that, though. And I can't do 15 on that either. So, 1,
Okay.
No sense.
because I only have 2 in it.
You manage to hold on to the coin, but you take a dramatic wound as the coin that was tossed at you explodes in the air in sort of a bluish like thunderclap, and it sends you forward. You sort of lose your flight balance a little bit and manage to catch yourself at about like this from the ground up, and you manage to hold the coin in one of your claws.
I think at this point it would snap her back into being Genia.
Yeah, you just felt the hurt as your
Yeah.
little bird bones
You
got
just
rattled.
smacked the crow out of me.
Yep.
Now she's gonna stand up menacingly. Like,
Yeah, I just shake my head and I'm like, you made the wrong choice,
Right?
Professor.
yeah. Did you think I was her pet?
He's sort of in the corridor at this point and basically like on fire, and eventually after trying to pat himself up and rub himself down,
It's doing the thing where it's like every time he tries to pat it, it like moves
Yeah.
underneath his hand.
right?
It's like, what the fuck? It's like,
He
Wouldn't you like to know?
looks in your direction and at some point creepily stops fighting it as the fire starts to eat away at him, and he just takes 2 steps back and puts his hand like on the recesses in the wall and just keeps looking in your direction.
Oh, okay.
And he just says, "None of us walk away from here."
That's where you're wrong.
He's going to blow the whole thing.
Alright, let me spend that point.
Next round of approaches. Something changed in his demeanor, and he's just like, well, death is approaching.
Okay, well, I just spent the...
I would like to say, this whole place is a powder keg.
Mr. Cellophane.
Yep.
Nobody cares.
From the ground level, you hear the "ha" from behind the bookshelf.
Yeah. So, Evine, I'm not Evine. We are all Evine.
Yeah.
Eve.
That's the twist.
Genya?
Thank you. Genya is switching to... is switching to Terraform. I already spent my hero point for that one. And I'm gonna have the wall reach out and grab his hand.
Okay.
And like...
Oh, the wall grabs back.
Yeah. And
all right.
she goes forward with a punch.
Okay.
And a, if you think I will let you hurt those girls any more than you have, you're stupider than I thought. So...
Good. Let's go with a brawl, but let's do resolve.
Oh, yay. I got all of that. Alright, so that's all of that. Now I have...
Your little fireflies are still doing their job and ramming into him at this point.
And I also get...
Let's see.
6 points from that. 6 points from that.
So, because the traps are like in the walls, like we can't actually see where they are, right?
You get a pretty decent idea of where they are because Marilena sort of felt them and gave you some approximates.
Yeah, and if you're getting too close to one, I'll probably just go, no, not there.
Yeah. Hot.
But from her description, like there's some hot zones, right? And you have an idea of where those might be.
So that's probably what he's trying to do is trigger either one or all of them.
Can I tell what he's trying to do from that? Or no?
You get a sense that it's probably something akin to that.
Yeah.
He's probably trying to trigger one or more of these devices to go at once. You actually feel the rumbling of the building.
12.
12?
Because I assume I don't explode my legendary stuff.
At that level, everything should explode.
Oh, okay.
So
Well, let me reroll those for then. All things explode. Alright. Well, that was better. Okay. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, and a 1 left over, so that was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Wow, nice.
there it is.
That is what Jenny is built for, is brawl and resolve.
So you're making the wall come out and grab his hand.
To stop him from...
But he still has
Pushing
another
the
hand.
mechanism. Yeah, so he's gonna have to, like... because I assume the wall comes out, like, to his elbow to hold him straight.
So Jimena, in order to speed the process along, is going to grab one of her things.
Acid splash, go!
I mean, basically, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna throw it straight at his other arm. Because not only is it acid, it's also flammable. So.
I'm like, what's What's a fire poison type? You make your thing. I'll figure it out.
Oh, isn't Magmar? Does he have poison?
I don't think so.
No, he's just fire. I know there's at least one.
Yeah, I'll find it.
So I assume that's like finesse and aim. To
Yep.
toss.
Yep. You got it.
I gotta do this. I get an automatic 10. Because I'm using my. Or no. No, I get an automatic. One of these is I get an automatic success. The other one is I put a die aside.
Mm-hmm.
That counts as a 10 automatically.
Yep.
But I don't remember which is which. Guess I could look in the book. Why does she have a sexy bra?
Because she's a sexy salamander.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Let me double check which
She's
rule
got
I'm
a-
using here.
Humana likes to be fancy.
Like a
True.
strutting.
It's perfect.
Double check which dumb stat I'm using.
I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do now.
Well.
Okay, yes, it is this one. Yes, one die just counts as a 10. Put it over here, and then I roll the rest of them. Shoot. Ooh, another 10.
I'm also trying not to kill him because I know Hector's supposed to do it, even though I really want to do it.
I think that we've kind of let that one sail at this point, though.
You think so?
I wasn't actually expecting this to happen.
No, that's true.
Oh, boo, that made it worse.
At first I thought I was just going to help him, which I tried to.
Yeah.
But there was more going on here.
Yeah, well, I'm about to explode his head, so...
Well, if
and...
I got 8.
8. Okay.
Right? Yes, 8.
This is pretty unequivocal.
Yeah.
Marlena. You don't need to tap much into your powers to know this. If you hadn't showed up when you did, Hector would be dead.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
So you did help.
Oh, yeah.
He's alive.
You have a sense, and you're not sure if it's because, the dress is on and it tends to color your judgment, but there's a sense that Hector not dying here is important for Liso's future.
Is he also a secret prince?
I think that the rebuilding of Liso need men like him.
Well, true.
That's probably more
He's
like
going
everyone
to
does.
go on to have a fortune. He needs to have someone's help
Yep.
transferring,
Yeah.
and he can promise many riches.
Right?
He just needs your bank account number.
That's right.
God damn it. This is Nigeria.
Unfortunately,
But only give me that money in
Target gift cards.
beer vouchers at the local tavern.
that's right. Unfortunately, Prince Hector is unable to access his riches at the moment.
Oh no.
The secret police is freezing his assets. But if you help him...
He'll give you a title and everything.
Yep.
Is there any way I can assist other people in doing what they're doing? That doesn't
100%.
involve me using more hero points or
One-
lashes.
Well, that part may be a little bit more complicated, but... you get a sense that Jenny is about to do some
Major
magic
damage.
shit.
Are you
One thing that may require your help right now is that...
the coin?
Yes.
Who has it, but anyways.
Well, one exploded in my face, and I still have the other.
Okay.
The balcony looks like it's about to go.
The balcony that I'm on?
Well, that you're a little bit passed on, but that a ton of professors are
Or
still
underneath,
on.
on.
Yeah, and it's gonna crash down below.
Well, the only thing I could do with that is tell them to move the hell out of there. So I guess I can do that.
They're gonna need a little bit of presence to make that happen because, like I said, there's a lady missing her arm. They're freaking out. They're not super listening, so you're gonna have to be convincing.
I can do that. Look at how much convinced I have.
Well, that's...
So what's trait am I using here?
Keep your resolve.
Okay. Yeah,
Because right now these folks are so traumatized by what's happening, I'm not exactly sure all of them realize the danger they're in. The lady missing her arm, like, almost looks like she's about to walk right off that balcony.
holy shit. Yeah. Alright.
And not because it's conscious, because she's in a daze.
A little less noise, please. A little less noise. There we go. Alright. It gave me some more notice. And empathy. Those are Zhenya things. I'm looking at, like, theft. She doesn't steal.
No.
Scholarship.
That's my job.
Yeah, we're working on scholarship. No need for sailing.
That's Rethel's.
Yep. I don't want to give her convince or... Actually, convince might work for her. For teaching lessons.
Yep. Convince would be good for that.
Yeah.
Try to change people's minds.
I don't want to give her finesse, and I don't want to give her
9.
hide. So
9
convince would be good.
Fantastic.
And I don't know what tempt is for, but okay.
Well, tempt is absolutely not something that Jenny will use.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Tempt is it's the seduction skill.
What?
Yep.
Well, apparently she has that naturally, but she doesn't know.
Jimena has it, but she also, like...
Too giggly to use it?
Yeah, she's too busy being like, oh.
I have,
In
like,
my mind.
I have tempt, but I don't use it because I'm married.
Yeah.
Well, Jimena has tempt, but for herself.
Basically.
She just uses it on herself all the time.
She uses it for other things, not necessarily for actually tempting anybody.
Yeah.
She can tempt food out of people.
Alright, let's put me at 5.
But
Yeah.
I don't know why I gave her so many dots in tempt. She doesn't use it.
Well,
I got my dots actually from being Vidace, I think.
probably be useful for her.
Oh, it might have been because...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think actually, no, I think I got it for the Fate Witch stuff.
Yep.
I think if she does use it, it's mostly in like the lure them to the place where I can then
Murder them horribly.
kill them or beat them up and steal their clothes.
You pretend to be Pain and Panic, pretending
That's
to be
right.
another Pegasus.
It's like, let's do get help.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Just like
it's
like the arrow that whistles through time. Jimena also has a connection to Searcha and her Empire of Pants.
Yes.
The Throne of Pants.
The Throne of Pants.
The linen throne.
Yep.
Nice.
Like in my head, it's like store folded pens, like just stacked like in a gigantic chair, like just with Searcha just draped over the throne.
Yes. Wearing 3 pairs of them.
Right.
She's wearing like pants as a jacket.
Like a bolero?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe that's what's happening with your K-pop boys. Is Empire of Pants.
They found them.
Yeah.
Look how pants rich I am.
Someone in Korea is like, I heard of this. They must wear mini pairs.
Show how pant rich you are.
Yes. It'll make the girls want to take them all off you.
There's more.
Why are you wearing so many pants?
One pair at a time.
Just adds to the mystery.
Yep. Lots What's in there? I don't know.
It's a puzzle.
Right?
Love
Russian
it.
doll of
Awesome.
All right.
Oh, Christ.
This needs to go over here.
All right, we're
Russian
sorry,
doll
everyone.
pants.
Yep. Russian doll pants. What will we find?
More pants.
A candy. It was chocolate the whole time, guys.
The entire time. Evine, are you taking an action? I
Or
know.
a spicy rice cake. Those look so good.
I'm in
I've had something similar, but not quite that.
zombie mode.
Okay.
where,
No.
I'm
It's
also unpacking boxes and moving boxes around when I shouldn't be, and I should probably be resting.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm getting a massage tomorrow.
nice. Nice. No worries. You
But I would like to, if I don't want to stop any cool magic-y thing from happening, but maybe I could piggyback off that and add insult to injury and try to make him stumble towards one of his own traps or something like that.
sure.
So I mean,
Sure.
right now,
Like
what?
after the attack already happens.
So Virginia's punching him.
I'm restraining him with the wall and then punching him.
Yes, and Jimena's thrown like
Acid.
flamey acid
Yeah.
at the other arm, and I'm actually not even doing anything there, so you could totally shoot him.
I could shoot him in the face.
You could shoot him in the face.
And then I punch the arrow through his skull.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
And then pull it back out.
There it is.
Okay. There we go.
She shoots him in the face. You pull the arrow out, and then you just stab him with it.
Yeah.
Extra dead, while his other arm is on fire.
Yeah.
No, the fire never goes away. It just stays there.
Yeah.
Stays there forever.
Mind if I punch the side of your face for free?
All right.
Alright. So
Give us your 11, Evine.
yeah. Cash in your
I'll walk
11.
back to my phone. You know, one thing I didn't anticipate, especially after moving in a bigger house, is it's really tiring to walk
Yeah.
back and forth. I'm so stupid.
It's like I almost have too much space.
No such
Yeah.
thing.
Right?
Oh, you'll fill it up. Don't worry.
Oh, definitely will.
Yeah. Give yourself a little
Not
bit of
already
time.
full.
We when we renovated the house, we threw away so much shit. Like full metal containers full of stuff, right?
But now there's more shit.
But now there's more shit. It hasn't been that long. Like it's been like 3 years, 4 years.
Four sounds right.
And it's refilling back up.
Her Majesty has returned.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hello, Your Highness.
Returning to her bag.
Yep. Straight to it.
A bag is just like it's just perfect.
Do you want me to pull out mine?
11. It is 11.
Oh, it is 11. Look at
There you
that.
go.
I'm getting suspicious of your 11s.
I'm just psychic.
This is only the second one.
Yeah.
Today. That's okay. I had a 14, so
Yes.
Yes.
I feel better about my shitty 8 from earlier.
All right. Well, Zhenya, you tap into this building.
Can I, since I'm super tapping into the building, can I strengthen the balcony beneath me as well with my 14?
Well, you're gonna be able to try that.
Okay.
As you tap into the building, the weirdest feeling happens
Ooh, fun.
because,
The stones speak to me.
well, I mean, there's something else within these stones. it's not entirely natural.
Like, it is the
right?
Chernobog.
You feel
Yeah.
the ancient pieces that are not part of nature embedded into the building. And for a moment, the creepiest thing happens.
Do they
You
talk?
feel almost like the building is fighting you.
Yep.
Almost as if, like, these ancient things are actively... They're not... You don't feel like malice.
Yeah.
You just feel...
Like, bitch, you can't move me.
Their purpose
Yeah.
is to stop you from changing the shape of this building.
Oh.
Like, for the first time, like, it's...
The Rock fights back.
But...
Yeah.
You have such overwhelming control that you keep gritting your teeth, and it is exhausting.
Look, I'm the force of nature here.
You end up taking an extra wound from it, just...
Dramatic?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Just
I
because...
only have one left, guys.
Oh no!
And then I'm down.
Those of you who can see Genya,
Yeah.
Wow.
blood start to trickle down her nose,
Her nose, her ears.
as she's basically just clearly like fighting something. Like you see a vein on her forehead like start to pop up, like she's in some sort of silent battle. Like the bones of the place are, more accurately, something that's laced into the bones are trying to prevent you from doing something.
They have adamantium coating.
Goddamn.
And,
But eventually, the weirdest thing again
You just need to do metal
happens
bending.
as you push through,
yeah.
and
It accepts me as its owner.
well, it feels like almost like an acknowledgement. Not like a acceptance, but more like
I see you.
I see
Can't
you're the
recognize game.
you're the
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
You're the
You don't
stronger
recognize
one,
it's real.
Yeah.
and you almost feel it like shutting down, like almost like, all right, acknowledged.
Yep.
I will not be destroyed here, right? Like you may pass,
Thank you.
and
I'm not trying to destroy you. I'm trying to stop him from destroying you.
yeah, it's not. It doesn't feel
Yeah.
smart. Right? Like
Yeah.
it doesn't feel like intelligent like an animal or even like it's just like a weird, it's executing a purpose.
Yeah. It's like a child with a grocery list.
Basically. Like
I
it's
know.
been given a mission and it doesn't know anything
Yeah.
outside of that.
I'm just supposed to get carrots and potatoes.
Yep.
I don't know what you're talking about with fucking shallots. Like,
And
Well,
as
said
you
onions.
push through, the wall wraps around Aguilar's hand. He immediately tries to reach out and wrench it out, but as he reaches with his other hand, a vial hits him,
yeah. That's it!
and
Spice up
Genya
your
is
life,
too
Fritz.
in a trance to notice, but the rest of you who are down here, the smell hits you first,
Yeah.
because when the vial hits his hand, it makes a hiss like you just stumbled onto a nest of snakes, and the flesh is just dripping right out of his hand.
Yeah.
He's still on fire.
Melting, crisping.
And at that point, like, he almost slumps against the wall, like he's held sort of like this.
Dangling.
And
And then the arrow.
the arrow pierces his skull right between the eyes. There's just a split second of recognition, and you see, as he slumps, just the moment before the arrow hits him, you see the flicker in his eyes, like basically like surrender over overwhelming odds, right? Like there's nothing I can do about any of this.
And then Spice Up Your Life starts playing in the background because girl power today.
Basically, right? And yes, the stones almost to drive the point through as he slumps forward, pushes him back with a huge shove that thrusts the arrow further into his skull, and he's now hanging limp, held by one hand through the wall and burning to a crisp because the fire hasn't stopped. Unfortunately, your battle with this wall left you a little bit too untapped for you to fully strengthen the balcony. And Marilena, you basically have to go out there and sort of bring a force of calm to these folks. And you walk there with such assurance in the midst of chaos that immediately two of the professors who are not as wounded look up to you as if like, oh, please tell us what to do, right? Like, this is exactly like the look in their eyes is like, we...
So different from Vodace.
Yeah.
They almost look towards you for guidance, and you don't even need to tell them much of anything, right? Like, they see all this scene unfold, and they see your quiet assurance, and a couple of them immediately come to your side, and the professor who has lost a hand, like, turns around, and she extends her good hand, like, towards you. She's still, like, shaking, like, heavily shaking. Almost like, please take this, right? Like, please help me.
I help her up.
You help bring her aside, and the moment she steps towards you, the top landing cracks and crumbles. You hear a yell from under, which you recognize as Don Francisco, and says, "Heads down, everybody who's still here. It's coming down." And the balcony just descends and crashes to the floor below. You hear some coughing and yelling, and you hear Francisco say, "Anybody under there? Anybody in the rubble?" And you hear the kid say, "Nobody, we got them out."
Good.
As you listen to this, you hear a quiet sobbing from below that you recognize as Hector's. Professor Aguilar is still burning because...
You didn't
I
tell
haven't,
him not
I
to
haven't
yet.
put it out yet.
Yeah,
It still has stuff left to burn. We're fine.
Jimena has...
I'm making double sure.
Right? So he's basically combusting slowly at this point to a crisp. There's a lot of very PTSD ridden professors like sitting on the ground. The one-armed lady is letting one of her fellow professors patching it up at this point, but she's also weeping. Zhenya, you snap back to reality, having a weird sense of awe and respect for these things, but they also feel very unnatural.
This is not Genius thing.
This is all like more in the, these things are ancient and fearsome, right?
Yes. But I don't like this. What are they called?
Which?
The Julies?
The Escaras?
The Escaras. We have to find the Escaras. If they are trapped here...
The facility, is not on the university ground, but you know where it is.
Okay.
So you can...
It's not the underground place. It's not this... Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's...
I'll have to take Olivia.
Yeah. She told you exactly where it is.
It's where the
But
church
it's more...
lady that I'm going to kill lives.
Yeah. Still can't free them yet. We gotta kill that bitch.
No, she's in a different spot. That lady
Okay.
lives in the. I mean, she hangs around with the big church people.
Okay.
She's
Isn't
beloved.
she the one in like Lake Laogai though?
She's beloved
Yeah.
by the populace.
But if I'm gonna free the Iskara, then I'm gonna need Olivia to be like, no, she's not crazy. I mean, she is, but not like that.
Yeah, you're probably gonna need to bring her with you. But at this point,
Yeah.
he was the one working on their
Yeah.
quote unquote training.
He was the ringleader,
So,
which is why I wanted him dead.
Are we sure that no one else is in the building right now?
it's very quiet.
And I could probably sense it if I wanted to.
So I'm upstairs.
Yep.
Yeah.
And no balcony.
No.
No balcony, no stairs.
Yeah, the stairs are even in rougher shape now because an entire landing has collapsed to the floor below. So
Jenny is going to weakly stomp her foot like she always does, and try to make stairs and be like, "Are you going to?"
it takes longer.
Yeah.
But at this point, you don't feel the fighting
Yeah.
anymore. You've asserted your dominance, but it takes you a little bit longer. Like the stones are coming out the wall like one at a time.
Yeah.
Right.
That's fine. I can't move very fast.
Yeah.
She's gonna collapse down the stairs. I literally have one, like,
Wow.
yeah,
Jimena hands you
an elixir.
an elixir.
Okay.
This one's small and from the belt, so you know there's a
So
healing
it's
potion,
okay.
Right.
as opposed to a circular one from the bandolier, which those ones are all for throwing at things.
These
That
ones are
that saves
weaponry.
me
Those are
1 point. Yeah.
I think
Yep.
so, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
She's like, I know it's not much, but
it is something.
it will help.
These walls are not. They are different.
Yeah, there's bad juju all over this place.
It's not bad. It just doesn't know.
I'm not sure this building should be lived in, much less used.
Can I get a feeling for that?
As you get down the stairs, behind the bookshelf, Hector is now sort of seated down, like slumped over, crying into his hands, like just fully sobbing. The child is with him, like sort of rubbing his back, right, like just letting it happen.
I mean,
Francisco is sort of seated, like on the side of the bookshelf, cleaning a pistol, and he says, "This entire place needs to be picked apart. These things shouldn't be here.
They are very dangerous.
Not under lock and key."
They're alive.
Yeah. And Joaquin was crazy to think he could control that kind of power. I told him.
Jenya looks at the coin in her hand. Still got that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you look at it, this is not a kind of coin like any you've seen before. Like, this looks like old Thean. And even the language is like, you know, who knows, right? Like,
Not that I'd be able to read it.
Yeah, but I mean, it looks like nothing you've encountered before. It looks old.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a greenish color, but not like rust green, right? Like not a corrosion green. Like, it looks like that was its original color.
Like that iron.
Yeah, it has like kind of a dull luster to it.
Thank you, Manda. She says, Tula, you look old.
I'll also kneel down to Hector and say it's done. He's dead.
Jenya will collapse down next to him and go, he will never hurt anyone ever again.
And he pulls his face from his hands and just puffy eyes, right? Like, and in between the sobs, he just whispers to you, "But I'm still here."
There's a reason for that. It is people like you that are needed for the rebuilding. She would not have wanted you to die there.
This sends him into basically another fit as you say that.
But you can take some time. We are not done yet.
The kid sort of continues like rubbing his back and says, "She's right. You'll be needed in the days to come, and we're not done." He's just like relaxing, but it's like I don't know, years of tension sort of coming out at once, so he's unable to really. He's like in the ugly cry part, and
Yeah.
it's
It's
just
hard. He needs
really
some time.
hard to recover, right? Francisco is sort of, no grin, no bravado as he sort of looks at the ruins of the tower, like up and down, and tucks his pistol in his belt and sort of looks up and says, "From the smell, I assume he's done."
And then it sort of pops out. I was like, oh yeah, he's super dead.
Zhenya mutters something along the lines of, not medium rare, but well done.
Yeah, the flames are out now, but if you walk back there, there's like a fucking like
Crispy,
Indiana
charred
Jones.
skeleton.
Yeah.
He sort of nods like way more grimly that you're used to seeing him. Like there's no like joking about, or he's just eerily serious, and said, "Good. That was a long time coming."
If you can get everyone out, I can seal the building. No one gets in, no one gets out.
We'll take care of it.
Yeah, like if you go back in the hallway, it's like a charred skeleton where like the one arm is still stuck in the wall, but the rest of the skeleton has kind of fallen away from it.
Right.
But so there's just like an arm bone sticking out, not attached to anything.
Yep.
And it's like a black charred
Yeah, like,
skeleton.
nah.
It's
There's
like we
still
come
like
in, we leave people embedded in buildings, we come,
Yeah.
we leave.
We leave.
It's
It's just how we do.
it's just the easiest thing for me to restrain people. Is embed them in the bedrock.
Yeah, Francisco nods at that and says, we will take care of it." There's another figure that steps out from the tunnel. Marilena, you recognize this figure. Jimena, if you're also looking, you immediately recognize this figure because a living legend has entered the room. El Vagabundo.
Suddenly
Savior
these
to
are
the King
his
of Castile.
Seconds.
The heart of the Castilian people is here.
Oh no, on my head.
In his
cannon.
outfit, wearing the ornate mask and the hood.
It's not Zorro.
Basically.
Yeah.
Basically. And the figure steps in a very androgynous voice sort of looks up and down and says, "It is done. Then we will secure the survivors." And he sort of looks at all of you, stops at Jimena, with a slight nod and says, "The Crown of Castile thanks you. This was a long time coming."
Zhenya looks up like, "Who the hell are you? We did all the work. You come in here and you say everything's finished?"
Jimena has a like. Like, gracias, señora.
Who the hell are you?
You watch your tongue. Like, how dare you?
He's someone important to the crown, or something.
Like, you too! Show some respect.
I do. I respect
I
very much.
apologize, Senor Vagabundo.
These
Friends do
foreigners,
not know.
these foreigners don't know.
You immediately get like a hand taking yours, and there's a knee. The mask touches the back of your hand, and
Jen is still like, what the fuck?
If this was a Studio Ghibli film, like
Yep.
the rustle would go up her entire
Yep.
body and her hair would stand
Yep.
on end.
and
But does you have pants?
I'm wearing 3 pairs right now.
So much pants.
Right? Oh my goodness. Oh.
It's
Yeah,
like the
Jimena is
flutter,
turning like bright red.
but
If smoke could come out her ears, it would.
Jen is trying to like stop the bleeding out of her nose and her ears. It's like, what is this?
Shh, don't ruin this for me.
um,
You have no idea.
No.
he the figure then says, before he was Verdugo's lapdog, this man served the King of Castile as master spy. And Francisco just spits on the floor as this gets said, and said, he would not serve the king's son and turn to Verdugo for protection. His reign is now over. You have the thanks of the crown. We shall remember this debt. And then he turns to Francisco and said, the attack on the Invisible College has been thwarted. You'll find the bodies of the Inquisitors in the courtyard. Clean up and we will meet outside.
Oh, they were doing something.
And with a flourish, he steps back into the tunnel
I
and
figured-
says, we will not forget this.
I figure the vagabond was outside with Rethel and Magnus.
Yeah, so it was a sausage party out there,
Yep.
and
Clam bacon.
yeah, it's kind of bacon here.
I'm still on the fence about Evine.
Yeah, I mean,
Evine
Yeah.
could still be a 50-year-old Ison man.
Evine is the
Evine
ringer.
is gumbo.
Yeah.
Sausage and seafood.
I feel
Oh,
like
I love it.
nice. That works.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Evine is fucking paella.
Yes.
Oh man, delicious.
Yes. I'm here for Evine.
Evine is the true ringer, can pitch for any team.
Yeah.
Right?
You want one, both, neither? I'm there.
I got you.
Yep. Got a gender for all of these.
You're Dolly Levi with your business card. What you need? Very specific.
Leave everything to me.
Yeah, kind of.
With that, Francisco gets back to his feet and looks at Hector, and then he looks at you all and says, it might be good for him to stay with you for a while.
Jenny does like a quick mental count. Do I have any more beds? I'll find one. Jimena,
Say?
I'm not going to be able to walk back. And then she turns into a mouse and puts up her little mouse feet.
Aww.
I can't go any further.
Jimena, like tears up and is like, oh,
Little mouse hands. Just
Like-
put me in
I
your
need a
pocket.
tiny blanket.
Yes.
yeah. She tucks you into one of her
Mini
magical
pockets.
invisible pockets.
Right. You get tucked into a little handkerchief
Mhm.
as a
You're-
It's
blanket.
like, here you go.
Like you know,
Here you go.
you know this is Zhenya, but in that moment you're like, I will protect you with my life, mouse.
Right? Basically.
The little redheaded. Well, she's not redhead, but she's like that shade of brown that's
Auburn.
almost
Like,
that
kind
auburn.
of like russet.
Yeah, that auburn-haired, green-eyed mouse.
Yep.
I guess I'll walk with Hector then.
Yeah, Hector
I
just
can't do it this
lets
time, guys.
you support him. and follows along. Francisco puts his sword back in his belt and straightens up, and then it's like,
Jimena pulls like
all right, child,
some sort of piece of food.
we have work to
A
do.
grape.
Roll up your
Puts it in
sleeves.
the pocket with
I'm
you,
sure
like,
we'll
here,
see each other again.
Get better.
And
Eat something.
in a flash, sort of the playfulness kind of returns, right? And he says, "Oh, you may count on it. You have a way of finding trouble, and this is where I live."
I can see that.
When we're
You
walking,
hear when you hear squeaks. You guys don't know, but we don't find trouble. We make it. Squeak.
That squeak sounds kind of sassy.
yeah, as we walk outside, because he said that the Inquisitors were outside, like
Yeah.
piled outside.
Pyre.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
As soon as Jimena sees the pile of Inquisitors, she's like, "Nope."
Yeah, you see
Oh, I have to seal the
a
building.
pile of Inquisitors and Prophet's sword.
Can you do it as a mouse? I mean,
GM, can I do it as a mouse?
Yes.
Okay.
Your effect is still active on the
Okay.
building.
The
It will
mouse
be
earth bends.
Yeah.
again. It won't happen as fast as it normally would have, but you can seal the building off.
All the windows seal shut. All the doors.
As you step outside, yeah, you see there was a scuffle in the courtyard, and there's many dead Inquisitors, Prophet Sword soldiers. There's some wounded out there, some students, some professors, but it seems that all the casualties are on the church's side.
Magnus and Rethel were mostly naked.
Well, as your pyre lights up,
They have
you
two
do hear
distinct piles where they were like,
Yeah.
as
I got
Shirtless.
47. He
Yep.
got
Covered in
48.
blood.
Yeah.
you see the drinking horns are out, and they're sort of glistening in the glow of your pyre at this point, admiring their handiwork.
This place is gonna smell awesome.
Oh yeah. University is gonna be hazmat time tomorrow.
That's tomorrow's problem.
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. Tonight was a rager.
Yeah.
We went to this party last night.
How drunk were we last night?
And yes, accompanied by a sobbing
Oh,
Hector. It's quieted somehow. Like it's more of a quiet crying at this point, but he's walking along with Marlena. You slowly make your way out, now accompanied by Retold and Magnus. We're sort of recounting what has occurred, like literally 20 minutes ago, as if they were not just both there. They're not recounting it to you. They're recounting it to each other, to people who were there and witnessed it. Just doing a play-by-play.
Small mouse stories from your pocket.
Yeah.
My little piece of whatever you gave me.
Probably bread.
Yeah.
And with that, you make your way back to the house with a plan to raid another facility here before long.
Yeah, can we have a little longer of a break between?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yeah,
need.
she needs
Yep.
it.
I can't take any more
I
wounds.
took some wounds too when
You were
I've got lashes as well.
you were literally attacked at your house the night before.
Yeah.
But we made friends with that guy.
Yep.
We have a truce with that guy. So now
Yep.
we can chillax.
Yeah. But I've been healing everyone left and right, and then taking my own damage. So
Yep.
yes.
And now
I
you're
feel like we need at least a week.
Matushka's gift only
We need
heals me one dramatic wound an evening, or a sleep.
well, and
Yeah,
you know
so-
that you've crossed another name off the list, but the last one will be the hardest to
Will be the
dislodge
worst.
because
Because people like her.
Yeah.
even the people that you're trying to liberate are enamored.
So we
with
gotta figure out a way to
Madre
make
Coloma.
her look bad first.
But I know that she's pure evil because I've
I-
seen it.
Seriously, I feel like we've gotten pretty good at doing these like propaganda machine things.
Oh, yeah.
Smear
It's
people.
almost like you know the person who used to help write the previous one. Too.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of killed her.
No, you've adopted her second in command.
Yeah.
Aurelia, it's your turn to shine.
Ready, set, spread, rumors.
We need our Tales of Bossing Say episode. Where we
Yes.
all just
Yep.
do things for a day and then we all cry at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, yes.
So sad.
Yep.
I just
Because
imagine.
Hector will go through the Uncle Iroh potion.
No!
Because
No!
this is it.
That is definitely emotional damage.
Right?
No, this one is like I can't
Yeah.
do it.
That's okay. Jenny will go teach him a Matushka lesson. And tell him living for those who've lost is better.
Right?
Not the compare trauma.
Yeah.
They only took your wife.
Damn it, Manda.
What did she think? How did she sing the song?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Oh.
Hiss.
It's doubly
it's
fucking sad
true.
because like
Too soon.
fuck it, his son, and then like the episode is also in memory of the voice actor.
Yeah, because he had like
Yeah.
It's like the fucking worst. It's
Yeah.
like
right?
you did this shit on purpose. Like
So I imagine Jimena goes upstairs and
Yep.
knocks on Ricardo's door and goes, "Here you go."
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no right.
They share a room.
Yeah.
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 Ricardo
I forgot
looks
that I was
better.
carrying you.
Well, that's good.
Ricardo looks better, but he still looks a little worse for wear. So the
Like-
both of them now are
Like
gonna.
knock knock. Excuse me, Senor Ricardo. I have a present
yeah.
for you.
Yes, sure.
A present.
Like here's your wife.
Oh,
His little sleepy mouse.
yeah. Oh. He's like, is she all right? Like you see, like true worry.
Not the best.
Like she's not doing great, but she'll be okay.
But she had enough energy to sass my hero.
Right.
Right? she needs rest, but she should be fine. I think. I don't know how her stuff works.
Especially like this.
Like,
I'm
you
not,
know, you know better than I do.
and I'm not 100% sure
Yeah.
if we're being honest.
Well,
And-
just nestle her somewhere where she can sleep.
He takes the mouse very gingerly and says, "Oh, thank you for bringing her back to me."
Still a little
And-
worse.
Very carefully goes to the bed and lies a little mouse like on
No.
Genia's pillow.
No.
Carefully brings the blanket up. Right.
I think within an hour she turns back into Genya.
It's like Stuart Little.
Yeah.
So
He's
cute.
being incredibly careful.
It's not like the witches where I explode from a mouse to a little boy.
Just hear it.
I don't break the Lego house and turn into a naked little boy.
That would be really weird if you were a naked little boy suddenly. I'd be like, what happened to Genya?
Well, I turned into a new animal.
Oh no! Wait, is that like if you go all the way through all of your dramatic wounds, you just come out a new body?
Right. This is the fucking prestige now.
Yeah.
Murder all you fucking clones.
Well, she comes back as like
Spoiler alert for the
child
fucking
Genya
prestige.
with no powers.
Oh, that fucking ruined that movie for you.
Oh,
Wow.
Also, David Bowie is Tesla, and it's amazing.
Right?
good stuff. Good stuff.
But yeah, as you head to your room, because it's getting late, you hear the voice in the back of your mind that says, "One more dies. Almost there. You've also preserved one of the spirits of Liso. So maybe when the time comes, the town will not burn."
Bum, bum,
All right.
I make no promises.
I try.
Like, I do my best, but...
I just like the smell.
It's like... We've gotten to the point where we're about to deal directly with church people, so...
Yeah.
Jimena's gonna probably
Yeah,
just...
it's Jimena's chapter now.
Yeah.
Jimena's about to lose her shit.
Girl.
Yep. All right. This is a good point. I don't know if we've lost Amanda quite yet.
Possibly.
You're
I
still
think
She lives.
You're still doing some moving.
I've not hit this physical limit before in life, but I found it.
Yeah.
Found it today.
It's
Oh, so you're Zhenya today.
right.
And,
All right.
yeah.
I think
I'll
instead
wait
of
till you stop the recording.
yeah, I think instead of experience points today, John should just give us all a hero point. But that's just Lisa.
That's a good compromise, and I'm happy to do that.
Woot!
Everybody get back a hero point.
Yay!
Alright. Yeah, I accept.
I think that's that's fair. Why did I give my? I took one away.
Oh wow.
No, I want.
that.
Are you doing
Yeah.
this on purpose
Yeah,
at this point?
I'm just used to making the number go down.
I've never gotten mine above 3, forever.
That's
Really
because
hard.
you keep getting tempted to.
Yeah.
I just you either want to give them
I've
away
been at a steady
or
5 because every time I spend one,
You gain
I
one.
keep getting
Yeah.
them back. Kitty, I'm so sorry, but it's time now.
Oh.
She's so beautiful.
Aww.
Yeah. That's what Zhenya looks
Just
like.
with the snoring.
Yeah.
Oh, Kitty, I'm sorry.
Okay, internet.
Yeah.
Good night.
Thank you for joining us.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have to say it. Say good night, internet.
Yeah.